Welcome, everybody, to the North Georgia edition of the Friday Night Press Box Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Towe, along with Chris Mathis and Coach Mark Stone. We're going to be hosting this show this year. What a time, guys. It's finally game week. I know, even though it's scrimmages, we're still playing games. I know it's exciting. Big show today. We're going to do a Region 7 AA preview. We're going to bring on Lawrence Morgan, Benton Birge from Northwest Georgia football. And then we're also going to talk to Chris Napier about some scrimmage games in the Northwest Georgia area too. But Coach Stone, Chris, it's here.
Didn't think it would get here. I'm ready.
Ready. We're all amped up for high school football, so we're ready to go.
Put the fans in the stands and let's go.
It's here, guys. You know, it's almost like it snuck up on us this year. You know, last year, me and Chris were talking about it. We started late September, you know, and now here we are in the normal start date of August, and it's here. I'm going to bring on Benton Birge and Lawrence Morgan with Northwest Georgia football now, and we're just going to talk Region 7 AA. Lawrence, Benton, how you guys doing today?
Good, you?
Doing good.
Doing excellent. Guys, appreciate you inviting me on the show.
Oh, anytime, guys. It's here. How's things going on the west end of the state?
Going good. Hot.
Absolutely. Had a smoker all last week. I mean, it was just super hot.
It was warm. It was warm for sure. Guys, you guys have already done your region preview show, so definitely thank you guys for coming on. It's kind of a combined. We're going to talk about ours, and when I was doing this show, I wanted Lawrence and Benton to come on because they have such great expertise on the west side of the state with Pepperell, Chattooga, Dade County, Gordon Central, Model, Coosa. So hopefully this will be a good show as we kind of break down every team in Region 7 AA. So. Guys, let's kind of start out first with Dade County. Dade County lost a quarterback, but I believe they've got a new quarterback coming in.
Yeah, we saw Dade County at a 7-on-7 a couple of weeks ago. Man, they look really good. They're going to have a couple of tall wide receivers, 6'2", 6'3" guys. They got a new quarterback coming in, Cooper. I think he was a basketball track guy last year. He's going to take over at quarterback. He's 6'2" kid. Coaches are really excited about him. I think they should have a pretty good offense. The big question for them is going to be the defense.
I know they put up a lot of points. They named a stadium after you, right, Lawrence? Is that correct?
Yeah,
down there?
That's what I assume. I assume it's named after me. Magic Morgan Stadium down there.
Stadium. The third monkey mentality. I know we traveled down there last season. It was a fun time, great environment there, for sure. Ben, you got anything to add about Dade County?
Yeah, I was there at the Dade County 11-on-11 where they hosted a few other schools up at Ridgeland as well. And one thing I noticed is they moved the ball even with the backup quarterback, starting quarterback and the starting receiver were out. So they got a little depth at receiver, especially. It's when your 6'2" receivers out and you got a guy that's coming back that also went for 1,000 yards the previous season. So they're going to throw the ball around.
Tell us about Coosa. This is a team we've been hearing a lot of buzz about this offseason.
Yeah, Coosa is going to be a surprise this year, I think. Talking to the coaches, they say the kids have taken real well to the weight room. Going to be starting a lot of young guys. I guess we'll find out Friday night what they actually have. They travel up to Saudi Daisy for the preseason scrimmage, and I think there'll be a lot of eyes on that game.
That'll be a good test for Coosa for sure. Gordon Central, Gordon Central lost a lot this past. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Benton.
One thing I know about Coosa is you better block Mr. Millsap because he's a beast on the line of scrimmage. He's a great defensive lineman. I believe his first name is Diolis. I may be saying that correctly. over 6 feet, close to 300 pounds. He's going to be a tough individual to block this year.
I believe he's number 70, correct, on that offensive line for Coosa.
So he plays both ways.
Gordon Central, moving on, talking a little bit about Gordon Central. I know they lost the Boone kid, but I believe they returned the Gray kid, who's an athlete, playmaker. Coach TJ Hamilton does a great job coaching those guys up. How are they looking this offseason?
Well, they're having to replace Boone, and they're having to replace the quarterback from last year. He's actually at West Georgia right now, so that's a big loss. They have a huge offensive line. They got 4 or 5 guys at 6 foot 260. Yeah, Trey. Yeah, and
aren't their brothers, the Hendrick brothers, on Gordon?
The Hendrick brothers, Paul Guerrero, Brock Shellhouse. All 4 of those guys are big guys, man. They're going to be back and got experience from last year. I guess the big question mark for them is going to be the skill positions. A little smaller in the backfield this year. You mentioned Sean Gray. I mean, he's going to be a force on offense and defense. I think they'll have a solid team. I think they'll compete for that 4th spot.
No doubt. No doubt. Benton, talk to us about I think Benton's froze. Y'all see Benton?
I see him.
No, I'm here.
All right. Talk to us about your Chattooga Indians.
Bringing a lot of skill back on defense, which you always like. Only lost about 8 or 9 seniors off of last year's team. Quarterback, trying to iron out the quarterback situation. Have 2 options that they've been going back and forth with. In practice this week, I've seen more of a steady flow to Mr. Hester. So you would say he would probably get the nod at quarterback. If they can gel, they could put some points on the board, I believe, with the running backs in the backfield and the new offensive line. That's going to be another huge question. You got a lot of new guys that have never had varsity snaps or had limited snaps, against the big boys.
Yeah, I think a guy I'm looking forward to at Chattooga is that Cook on the defensive line, man. I think he's going to have an outstanding season. Big kid. I think he'll have a breakout year in 21.
Benton, you talk about kind of a quarterback competition there. Is it solidified in terms of which quarterback's starting, or is it kind of, hey, we're going to run with this guy in this scrimmage and see how he performs?
I would say from what I've seen, and I haven't really talked to anybody, I'm just making my own inference here, that I think it's pretty much solidified. Now, you may see 2 guys in the scrimmage game get reps, but I think Hester's going to be your quarterback.
Gotcha.
Hester was a great receiver last year as just a freshman. He's definitely an impact player, can make plays all over the field. Last season's runner-up in the region, Lawrence, the Pepperell Dragons. DJ Rogers, I expect a huge year for DJ. I know you're high on DJ as well.
Yeah, they bring back their quarterback, wide receiver, and a DJ from last year. So they'll be solid on the skill positions on offense. The biggest question for them is going to be on the offensive line. They're having to replace 4 starters, and from what I hear, they're going to be starting 4 sophomores. So, we'll see how that works out for them.
Yeah, they're not going to be the only team in the region with that will be starting some young offensive linemen. I can assure you that. Fun place to play in Lindale. Benton, you guys have already done your guys' preview show, and we'll attach a link to this for everybody to go watch the Northwest Georgia football region 7AA preview show. We'll talk a little bit about the region champs in Fannin County. Obviously lost a ton. Luke Holloway, Mike O'Neill, Mason Bundy, Jalen Ingram, Kahutta Hyde. Coach, can you ever when you lose that much of leadership, how do you replace the leadership, and what do you tell the young guys in the locker room?
Well, I think I alluded to this a few weeks ago. Is you kind of, I always looked at it. Were these guys good absorbers of leadership, like Micah and Luke and Bundy and those guys? Are they willing enough and good enough to carry that on? Can they be the same type of leaders that just preceded them? I've had football teams that they just jumped on the bandwagon and rode for 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden it's their senior year, and what you thought was going to be good leaders wasn't good leaders. But I think Fan is going to be okay. But that they lost a lot of guys. They lost a lot of talent, and that's just I think that's what Coach Cheatham and his staff has got to be looking for early on.
Chris, you saw a lot of Fannin County games last season. You got to announce a few of them. How weird is it for you going to be able to not be seeing Luke Holloway under center?
Yeah, it's very weird. The thing is his junior season, I saw Luke and I thought, okay, he's a pretty decent quarterback. His senior season, he took that big jump, that next leap, and it was by far the best leap in terms of progress that I've seen in my 3 years here of covering high school football at WJRB, WJUL. It's going to be very different. Obviously, Luke, a guy that's a very stand-up guy, both on and off the field, a very good leader, leads by both action and example, and also as a vocal leader too. When he needs to, he'll tell you, hey, run a better route. But it's going to be a little bit different for Fannin County. I think that he was a huge anchor in their success last year, and it showed when he got hurt there in the playoffs. Things didn't necessarily fall apart, but it did not go as they had hoped. The offense had to change up quite a bit. And then you look at this season and know that Luke's not there at all, not just going to miss 1 or 2 games or be hurt half a game. He's not there at all. So it's going to be a little bit different to see how this quarterback situation pans out for Fannin County, and they'll have to figure it out pretty quickly. Again, last year, Fannin got a big-time win on the road in Blairsville against Union County. Shocked some people, no doubt about it. I think I was one of those that was shocked by that. And you see Union County struggle last year, and Fannin County, ran with that momentum and dominated and ended up, going 11-1 overall. So they're going to have to figure it out pretty quickly who their guy is. Personally, I don't have the insight on who the guy is. The last I heard, it's 2 or 3 different guys up for that quarterback competition. But the loss of Luke Holloway is huge and goes beyond just having a guy under center.
Yeah. I think – go ahead.
I think, how they handle the success coming off of a region championship, is big. Everybody's 0-0. In a couple of weeks, couple of 3 weeks, everybody's 0-0. And if you've got that last year in your mind, it can pop you between the eyes in a hurry.
This is the returning Seth Reese. This is his film from last season.
That's my guy right there.
Lawrence, I have a question for you and Benton too. Lawrence, if you would go first, then Benton and follow. How do you guys view Fannin County this year after a great year like last year? Obviously, ahead above the rest in terms of Region 7 AA.
Yeah, I think obviously, like you said, they've lost a lot, but I think they'll be real solid. This guy we're showing right here is one of my favorite players in all of North Georgia. I think the season goes as he goes. This guy's a beast.
I think personally, as a coach, I'd like to have him back there toting that ball for me, and I know in the shotgun, in the spread, he'll get a chance to carry it a lot. But I'd like to see him carry the ball, not know disrespect to the Fanning coaches or anything. I think he's a beast running the football.
Yeah. I saw him last year at that Pace game. I was up in Benton for the Pace game, and man, just the way he took over in the second half.
Absolutely.
I mean, the kid was a beast, man. Just unbelievable. You couldn't stop him.
I think you're going to see right now. I think there's 3 quarterbacks up for Fanning County that are going to be in the mix. Seth Reese being one of them. David Mashburn, the sophomore, or the junior, and Luke Bride, who's a sophomore. All 3 of those guys can play quarterback, and I think you may find out who they roll out this coming week against Gilmer County. I meant to show this earlier, but I want to highlight LaShawn and DJ for a little bit. Let's take a look at LaShawn Lester's film from last season versus Chattooga. This just on a tall sweep. Looks like against Coosa.
You go.
Birge celebrating right there on the. No, it's not. But Benton's hands were in the air, I'm sure. Little screen pass, LaShawn Lester.
I got to see him live, man, when he played his first game as a 9th grader. Had 255 yards and 4 touchdowns against Coosa.
He's legit.
He is not the same person he was as a 9th grader. I mean, yards.
No, he was a big boy as a 9th grader.
His body, he's a rock. Yes, sir.
Then the next guy I want to highlight here is DJ Rogers as these are coming up. Pepperell.
He doesn't have the size of some of these other guys, but man, he's fast.
And that's against Fanning County right there.
You know, I learned a trick. What I guess 99% of college coaches look at. They look at this right here. They'll put him on a 5-yard line, and they'll see what's happening. You know, and I know that sounds silly, but right there,
gone. Just separating it.
What's happening?
Yeah, it looks like the initial contact, he fights that off so easily or avoids it pretty easily.
But you see that you start seeing that separation. These college coaches go crazy over that. And I know they realize that everybody's not that, but not that fast, not as fast as he is. But it all of a sudden it just makes a world of difference.
The key is you have to stop him at the offensive line. You can't let him get to, past you.
Yeah, it seems like once he gets to that second, third level, the linebackers, defensive backs, that guy's gone.
Yeah, they're not going to catch him.
We hear all this talk about Region 5, and Region 5 is a great region. I think it's the best region in AA, but I think in Lawrence and Benton, you guys may agree, disagree with me. I don't think you'll find 3 impact players like LaShawn Lester, DJ Rogers, and Seth Reese in any region, and I would put those 3 up against anybody in all the regions across the AA region in Georgia.
Yeah, it's going to be fun this year. That first round of the playoffs, man, it's super important this year. That 7AA, whoever gets the number 1 seed, I mean, we'll have the easiest go of it, of course, but man, it's going to be tough. You figure Heard County right now, that's going to be your 4 seed out of 5AA.
Yeah, that's unreal.
I mean,
yeah, and I saw a video of Heard County posted on Twitter today. Those linemen at Heard County are still huge. They were big last year. They're big this year as well. I want to highlight a few defensive guys too in the region. Obviously, this one needs no introduction. Is Rowan Burdick. Just bear with me here. I'll get his huddle pulled up.
He's probably one of the most fun guys I've watched.
Yeah, while I'm getting his film pulled up, you guys talk about Rowan real quick at Chattooga.
Benton?
Go ahead, Lauren. No.
Yeah, man, he's an absolute headhunter, man.
He's a headhunter, but he
brings it 100% every play. I mean, dude you can hear the contact up in the stands. Fun kid to watch on defense.
Yeah, I just watch him practice, man. He does it the right way. He doesn't skip a rep. He's 100%. He's pressuring his other guys to do the same thing. I just like his work ethic. I like the way he plays on the field, plays the game right. It's what you look for.
He's a hard hitter, probably one of the hardest hitters in the region for sure. As I am, there we go. Here is Rowan Burdick's. You guys got a copy of that?
I like that. Big hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's Rowan right here.
Old school football.
Yeah, and the kid probably don't weigh but about 180 pounds.
He's known for big hits.
There's a play he makes on the goal
known
line
for big hits, but man, he is a form tackler.
Yeah, right here on the goal line. What a play that was.
Yeah, he's quick off the snap too. He moves the ball quick.
Covers the ground. Yep, that's what I was getting ready to say, Chris.
Yeah, another highlight player I want to highlight real quick is Cason Owensby for Fannin County. 103 tackles last season, returns. He'll be the leader of the Rebel defense. Let's take a look at his huddle.
Crazy thing is, that's with Micah O'Neill still as a Fannin County Rebel. So this guy's going to go off this year and be an anchor.
It was on MJ Morris right there. This is actually his Pace Academy film.
He had a great game last year against Pace. That's what I was about to say when I saw him, man. He was very impressive in that game.
Here's an example of a guy 3 years ago when I was at Fannin, and he was, I guess, his freshman year, sophomore year. He played well, but he was a little bit timid, or I don't know how to say it, but last year when I watched his tape, he was unbelievable. He'd stick his foot in the ground and go the other way and make tremendous plays. And I think that's an example of a young man that, just wouldn't quit. He just kept working and working and working and stayed in the weight room. And I think he's one of the best defensive players there in our region.
Yeah, he's a worker, man. He loves football. He loves football, and Chris made a good point. He made 103 tackles last year, and he played alongside Mike O'Neill, who was the leading tackler in the region. So he's going to have a big season. I
felt like early he was just going to kind of stay in his brother's shadow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden last year when I flipped this thing on, it opened my eyes. I was going, wow, that's the same kid, that I saw on the field up close a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. I believe he's going to have a monster season for Fannin County. It's going to be a fun season, guys. Lawrence and Benton, you guys have already made your picks. Do y'all want to reveal your picks again, and then we'll kind of make our picks, and I'll reveal who the Friday Night Press Box players of the year are as well.
Yeah, I went Dade County number 4, Chattooga 3, Fannin County number 2, and Pepper 1.
The Dragons, region champs, and Lawrence is mine. Benton, who do you have this year? I know y'all have already done a podcast, but tell the folks who may not have seen this who you guys got.
You have the Model Blue Devils sneaking in at number 4. I think it's going to be between them and Dave, but I went with Model. 3, I have Chattooga. At the 2 spot, I like Fannin, and I like the Pepperell Dragons to win the region this year.
Lawrence, who'd you have for your player of the year?
I can't remember, but I know it's between Seth Reese, Lester, and Rogers was my 3. I mean, it could be any one of those 3.
Yeah, I agree. Those three, just like we said, are just incredible. Benton, who was yours?
Overall player of the year for me, I had Seth Reese.
Did you have a defense and offensive player of the year?
Yeah, offensive player of the year, I'm going to be a little Sean Lester. I'm going to say he gets another 1,000 yards and goes over the 4,000-yard mark as a Chattooga Indian. And then defensive player of the year, I like Cody Williams from Dade County. Had over 110 tackles last year. Plays linebacker for Dade County. He'll be a junior, so he's got 2 more years. Some high caliber defense.
Yeah, and I
have to agree with both those picks. Yeah,
that's a name we haven't heard.
Cody's a state champion on the mat. I mean, 6'2", 210 pounds. Kid's a beast.
Lawrence and Benton, I know that you guys, really cover several teams, of course, with Northwest Georgia and the Twitter account that you guys have and what you guys offer for high school sports, which is awesome. Is there kind of a consensus between all of the coaches or anything like that in terms of 7AA and who they're really worried about this year?
Fannin and Pepperell. I mean, I think Fannin and Pepperell are heads above everybody at this point.
Yeah,
I think the main focus of a lot of coaches is just that number 4 spot, man. Everybody's battling for that 4 spot.
Worried about their own team, which is where they should be.
Yeah, I expect Chattooga to be pretty good this season. I definitely I have them. I'll reveal our picks in just a second. I have them at 3, but man, they just have so many playmakers, man. If those guys just decide to go crazy one game, don't count out Chattooga upsetting Pepperell or Fannin. Lester, Burdick, man, they're players. They're players. So, I'll go ahead and reveal the Friday Night Press Box's picks. Coach Stone, Mathis, you guys have anything you guys want to add? Make some predictions.
I'll go first, Coach. I'm not going to go out here and say I'm too familiar with 7AA other than those 2 top teams. And I really just got to know Pepperell last year, having to take on Fannin County. Of course, that was a solid game. I know Fannin's lost a lot, several starters, a lot of leadership. I personally don't think that Fannin wins the region. I think they're there. So I'm not surprised if Pepperell wins it. But I think it's a very competitive season for both teams. I think it's going to be, hey, who's going to take this region? But either way, I feel confident in both of those programs and what they'll do. And it all comes back to the coaching staff. Again, I say it time in and time out. Chad Sheedham, very passionate for his Rebels, and a great coach that knows how to make the most out of his roster.
Well, I think you can take 5 teams, 3 in the bottom, odd man out, Pepperell and Fannin in the top 2 to flip a coin. I think that's going to make for some pretty good high school football. I know Fannin has lost a lot, but that's just the old ball game. One year my football team lost 18 seniors. One year we came back, started 4 sophomores and a junior on the offensive line, went 9-4.
Wow.
So, you never know. I mean, you really never know. We had 4 big old senior or sophomore linemen and a junior, and it just turned out. And I know you can't tell, but right now 1 and 2, I'd flip a coin, Pepperell and Fannin. And they better not, they better not lighten up with these other teams, Chattooga and those guys.
Yeah, I think we failed to mention too that Fannin actually gets to host Pepperell and Chattooga this year. So I mean that's a big help.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, that's an intimidating place to play with Tim Towle on the big PA.
If you hear third down, you're in trouble. Opposing offense. So.
I mean, you come into Fannin and Tim Towle's on the big PA.
But no doubt. I mean, no doubt. In all seriousness, playing in Benton County, that's a tough place to play. The fans are unreal, very passionate. I like to call them the Fannin faithful. And then, of course, you've got passionate coaching staff, and then the light show. It's a pretty cool scene there in Fannin County. So always real big home field advantage there for the Rebels.
Yeah, Team F1 Sports done an article this past season. It was voted the top stadium in the area. You got the big helmet too, guys. Don't forget about that big blow-up helmet. That I'm not sure how big of a factor that has in the game, but it adds to the stadium.
When I coached over at Fannin Copper Basin, we was people down in Chattanooga said you got to win 2 things to go to Copper Basin and play. You got to beat the River Road, and then you got to beat that field down in that hole. So if you do both, you've had a pretty good night.
So I'll reveal my picks here. I'm going to go with been back and forth with this one. I believe I'm going to finally go with – I'm going to go Model 4, Chattooga 3, Pepperell 2, and Fannin 1. And the reason why I'm picking – I know everybody's laughing. The Fannin guy picks Fannin. Oh, yeah, we know. But we just said it. Fannin's got Pepperell and Chattooga at home. I think that's huge. I think that is huge. I think Fannin will solidify a quarterback by then. I think they'll be clicking much better on offense as opposed to they might be these next few weeks. But having Pepperell and Chattooga at home is huge for Fannin. Huge. And I think that's one of the difference makers in that ball game is Fannin does have that at home.
I think it's one of the great atmospheres in 1-2A small football. I really do. I was there for 10 years, and it was absolutely, bone chilling. Yeah. And you got a band of, like Fannin does. And I don't care. One of my favorite things is the entrance onto the field, and you go someplace and you look over on the other side and you're at somebody else's stadium, and it's intimidating. And I think playing at Fannin, we played a ball game one year up there against East Hall. East Hall had those 2 guys. One went to Georgia Tech, one went to Georgia.
Sterling Bailey.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I think our fans. I give our fans a lot of credit in us winning that football game.
Well, I wish last season. We all wish COVID wouldn't have happened, but those games were good atmosphere games. But I feel like the atmosphere would have been much more better if COVID obviously wasn't a part, and there would have been more fans than there already were at those games, and the atmosphere would have been that much better.
Yeah, no doubt. Last year, the week 1 game, Union hosted against Fannin County. I walked into the stadium and I was like, man, it's a lot more packed than I expected it to be with COVID, but it was still nothing like it typically was.
Yeah.
And to feed off of what you said earlier, Coach Stone, and also Tim as well with the quarterback situation, I'm going to bring a little bit of NFL football here into this comparison. You've got Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston as the 2 quarterback options in New Orleans. Taysom Hill, a Swiss Army knife, can do a little bit of everything, play some tight end, some running back, run with the football from the quarterback position. And then you've got Jameis, who's just a typical shotgun passing quarterback. Then you look at Fannin, they have 3 options, like you said, Tim. And I like to think of Seth Reese as a guy that can do it all, but primarily a tailback that can chunk the ball. We saw it in that playoff game, an 80-yard touchdown, first play of the second half. That was unreal. But I think that he's more valuable with him in the backfield, staying fresh, being able to play fresh on defense, and having a quarterback come in and just throw the ball, do what he does best, and being able to rely on Seth Reese. If that passing game is not working, if the receivers are not catching the ball, you can dump it off to Seth. You can have Seth run the ball, and then also feel confident that Seth's going to be healthy enough to play on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Right. One player I was very impressed with 3 years ago as a freshman was David Mashburn. Is that right?
Yes, and he is back. He's healthy, and he will play a big part in the offense.
He was out with that foot injury last year, and then I was talking to someone today. They said that I forget his first name,
Luke Bright, yeah.
Luke Bright. They say he's got a phenomenal arm, got a cannon for an arm. So, I'm just looking at it as and like I said, I wasn't throwing off on it, but you get Seth Reese out there and you get a swing pass out in the flats to him, then you got 205 pounds bowling ball down through there at a 140-pound cornerback, and that's not going to last very long. But let's put it out there and let's roll.
Yeah. Again, those are my picks. I've got DJ Rogers as the offensive player of the year for Pepperell. LaShawn Lester, a very, very close second. I've got Lester and Burdick as impact players of the year. I want to give them something because they're so good and valuable. I've got Seth Reese as my player of the year and Casey Owensby as the defensive player of the year for the region. So we can debate that. We can debate that. Fans can debate that. Those are my picks. I'm just glad it's here.
That's me. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to pack the stadiums. Let's go. Let's play football. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I was so tired of last year, all that junk. 150 people can get in this stadium, 200 in this one. You can have 50 seats. At this place. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for high school football to roll.
Yeah, we still hope those numbers keep dwindling down and we're able to play for sure. But I believe all signs are going to having a full season. Everybody stay safe. Hope everybody stays safe for sure. But any final thoughts before we conclude this Region 7 AA show, guys?
It's going to be a great year.
I'm looking forward to it. Put the pads on. I can't wait to see some pad popping.
Friday night. A couple of days away.
It's here.
Yeah, keep up with us. Friday Night Press Box, Twitter, Instagram, whole 9 yards. And I look forward to following you guys, each and every one of you guys on social media and keeping up with your expertise and, of course, your coverage as well. So always great working with you guys and look forward to following the coverage too.
I'm telling you, if you do not follow Lawrence Northwest Georgia account on Twitter, you're missing out. Nobody, and I mean nobody, covers football in Georgia. Rusty Manziel maybe. But nobody covers Georgia better than Lawrence. It's unbelievable what he does with his platform. Please give him a follow on Twitter, Northwest Georgia Football. I promise you won't miss it. You'll have all the updates from all the teams. He's the man. He's the man. This is why I reach out to him, and I want to promote him as much as we can too, because that's what he does is amazing for recruiting kids and promoting the programs. Nobody does it better than Lawrence at Northwest Georgia Football.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm looking for a press box this year that Chris Mathis is in, and I'm showing up.
All right. Hey, Friday nights, I'll be on the call for Union football on 95.1 FM. So excited for that. Of course, excited for all the teams that we cover here on the Press Box podcast, as well as all the local teams that Northwest Georgia and the Twitter account that Lawrence runs. And, of course, Benton and everybody that brings to the table. So excited for high school football to be back and hopefully more normal of a season than last year and get through it with no hiccups along the way.
All right.
I appreciate you guys. Coached for 40 years, and I will look for people that would promote high school football, state of Tennessee, Georgia, wherever I was at. And I appreciate you guys for promoting high school football.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
and stick around, guys. We're going to take just a quick break here, but we're going to talk about 2 games in our area that are pretty big scrimmage games. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, so stick around with us.